Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
Yes,
that
sir.
Angela Yee is already offering alcohol.
Yes.
Well, he's already still drunk from last night, so you know what they say.
And I'm taking all shots.
The best way to get over that is to do another one.
Come on, let's do
Symba, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, let's do it.
Man, Symba is one of the most phenomenal lyricists rapping today.
First
and that
off-
is not an understatement.
First off, I gotta send a shout out to my dog because you've been supporting me for a minute. And it's a lot of people that's, at your stature that feel like they gotta wait till something blow up to post it or support somebody. So I truly respect you on another level. Not only just what you did for me, what you do in the therapy community, your book, Black
Thank you,
Privilege,
brother.
everything. I really got a lot of respect for you. You too. I respect what you do a lot. And also my waffle color friend over here. I respect him a lot too. He's a legend in the game.
And I saw Dave Chappelle showing you a lot of love, too.
That's my guy. That's my guy. Dave actually brought me on stage. He had me like rapping for 10 minutes on one of his specials. I think it's about to come out soon.
Oh, word. How you meet Dave?
So I got a friend named B, who I know through my homie Cass, and he works with Dave a lot. And he sent Dave one of my freestyles. So Dave had like this premiere he was doing in Los Angeles. He was like, man, tell somebody to come. Like, tell that nigga to pull up. So I came through, and then we had a good night. We had a few drinks, and then he went back to the Comedy Store to do like a little private show. And then I'm just sitting on the side of the stage. He was like, Symba, nigga, come up here and rap. So I went up there and rapped for like 10 minutes. So it was dope. Shout out to Dave, man.
And it's not the fact that you can rap, that you always have socially redeeming value in your raps. Like, there's always some content in there that make you think. Like when that Big Meech line, when you say
Big Meech ain't selling more dope
than Big Pharma. Like, God damn.
You know where I got that from? I shouldn't even be shouting them out because I'm giving them a free ad. Y'all seen Dope Sick on Hulu? It's a show called Dope Sick on Hulu, and it's about basically how they created Oxycontin. And it was showing how many people died from how it was prescribed. So they was trying to basically say that people was abusing the drug, but really they was taking the drug to how it was prescribed to them, and people was dying from it in the 80s. So I was watching, and I'm like, shit, these motherfuckers sold more dope than Big Meech. They should be the ones getting in trouble. So I felt like I had a responsibility to say something about it.
Now, let's go back. For people that don't know who Symba is.
Yes, sir.
Where you from? How'd you get into rapping? And you always say, I know they say that you I guess growing up you loved Jay-Z and Nas and Biggie.
Yeah.
So let's start from there. So where are you from?
So I'm from the Bay Area. And my mom was a real estate agent. So my mom moved around a lot. She used to move around from Trenton, New Jersey. I lived in Ben Salem for a little bit. Atlantic City, Vegas, LA. So we moved around a lot, and I would always notice that like Bay Area music, it would hit a ceiling. Like it wouldn't really go past our region.
Yeah, very regional. Yeah.
So when I moved around as a kid, I'm like, damn, like I started wanting to write music and everything, and I was like, you know what, I gotta make my music connect to everybody. And being on this side as a kid, I gravitated to Hove a lot, just how he moved, the things he said, I related to it. Big L, even Sauce Money. I used to listen to a lot of Sauce Money, you know what I mean? And that's just something that I wanted to incorporate in my music when I started creating for myself.
Now, what got you into rapping? Because they said you were nice in sports.
Yeah, man, I got caught cheating on my SAT test.
Whoa.
How'd you get caught cheating?
We ain't gonna talk about that.
Was it one of the ones where you had the hands like this? Did you write it
Nah,
on
I had
that
a nice
calculator?
young lady that was doing something for me.
Oh.
And we both got caught up, you
Damn.
know, so I couldn't go play ball after that. So through that process, I was sitting at the homie crib for a year, stubborn, not trying to listen to my coach and everything. And I ain't even like my coach at the time. I still think that nigga was racist.
You play basketball or football?
Basketball.
Basketball, okay.
But yeah, I was stuck in the crib, in my homie crib, and he had a studio. So I just started rapping in his studio every day, and I fell in love with music more than I did with basketball at the time. I got tired of waking up at 6 in the morning going to shoot. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to just do this. And I just stayed at it and got good at it.
I'm
And
more
you also
concerned about
wrote-
the young lady, man. What happened to her?
Don't talk about her.
You got to give her a job or something.
Nah, man. She cheated on me.
Oh, that was your
You
girl at the time.
was cheating off her?
She could go to hell.
See all this cheating going down.
She
never
could go
went
to hell.
So let me ask you this. So you also wrote for a lot of artists too,
Yeah.
right? So was your goal always for you to be the artist, or did you enjoy being in the background more at first?
My goal was just to get the job done. Like it was times I used to be in studios, people thought I was just the weed man. Like I used to just come through with the weed, be talking to everybody, rolling up. They'd be like, oh, that's the weed man. They ain't even know I rap. So my job was just like, I always looked at it like, do what you got to do to get to where you want to be. So if I had to write for somebody, if I had to hold somebody bags, if I had to turn the session up and just be the fun person in the room, I was down to do whatever I had to do to get to where I want to be. So that's how I ended up writing, because a lot of people, don't write their raps. So, I came in to write a lot of raps for people.
Were you surprised by that, the amount of people that didn't write their own music?
I would say what surprised me more was people that can't rap not writing their raps.
Just because they got a good voice.
People you thought was lyricists.
Yeah. That's what shocked me the most. But at the same time, as I'm learning, this is a business, right? So you got shows, interviews, you on the road. Sometimes you really ain't got time to sit down and write all goddamn day like that. So I had to learn that just even for myself. Shit, I'm starting to look for writers to write for me, because I ain't got time to just be sitting in the studio no more.
That's a very honest.
Hooks and just ideas, period.
That's an honest thing.
Yeah,
to
not
say.
verses.
I talked to Quentin Miller last night.
Man, shut up, man.
I'm serious. You want to see my phone? I talked to him last night.
You talking hooks and ideas?
Hooks and ideas. No, I'ma always write my verses, but I
But you
just
gotta
ain't.
clear that up, because people
People like, damn, Symba don't write his raps.
No, I
He
write.
said he's looking,
I
though. He
write
didn't say he
everything.
doesn't.
I write everything, like all my verses, all my freestyles. I write everything, but at the same time, it's things I may miss. Somebody might have an idea or something that I'm not thinking of. You know what I mean? And if that could compliment me, it's a business. We need hit records. I just ain't trying to be freestyle, man. My
Man,
whole
I'm
career.
so glad you said that, because I always, when I first heard you, right, this is a while ago, I'm like, yo, this dude is really dope, but I hope he can make songs.
And I
'Cause
can.
I'm old enough to remember these super lyricists that we used to love their freestyles on the Clue mixtapes and everything, but then they couldn't make songs.
Where are they now?
Word.
Where are they now, right? At the end of the day, this is a business. People know I can rap, but I'm growing, and it's like at this point, I got to deliver records, and that's what we giving them when results take time. This Friday is actual songs. I'm not just rapping on beats. I'm rapping on records.
I love the meaning behind the title, Results Take Time.
Yeah.
Then you got songs like Overnight and Find a Way and Sacrifice. It all tells this story of results taking time. Do you feel like you're getting the results that you've been looking for?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. I'm somebody that embraced the process all the way around, so it's like, I remember doing shows in the Bay. I had like 3 people in there. Moved to LA, ain't nobody knew me. I'd do shows at the Roxy, be about 15 people in there. I just sold the Roxy out last month.
Wow.
So that was a real accomplishment for me, because it was letting me know okay, things is working and you growing as an artist. Let's just continue to get better.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. You go from a song like Unknown to GOAT.
Yeah.
And so first it's unknown, but now the status is you are striving to be the GOAT of all of this. And that should be the goal for anybody that does this.
Who want to be second or third or fourth or fifth? Like, we all in this to be number one. I'm sure when y'all got in this game, y'all didn't look like, I'm going to be the third best person on, you know what I'm saying, content media. Is like, no, I'm here to be the best. Mm-hmm. That's what it's about.
I was going to ask you, with moving around, of course, rest in peace to PNB.
Yes, sir.
But moving around, you said you were in Trenton. You said you were in Vegas. You were in Atlantic City. You were in California. You've been in New York the last couple of days. Talk to the people about L.A. culture when it comes to the streets in L.A.
Definitely.
But sometimes I think people, when they go to L.A., it's sunny, it's beautiful, there's palm trees, there's nice cars, beautiful people, expensive stores. But they don't understand that it could get nasty.
So the first thing you gotta realize, I'm from the Bay Area. So the first thing I learned about LA is it's a difference between LA and Hollywood. A lot of us think Hollywood is LA. Hollywood is not LA. That's Hollywood. LA is something different. It's protocol. It's people you gotta tap in with. You can't just move around LA thinking everything's gonna be cool. Especially right now, we just got out this pandemic. Niggas done hit for that PPP money. Mm-hmm. They done got them loans. They done created a new lifestyle, got new cars and new cribs, and they got to pay for this shit. Mm-hmm. So everybody outside looking for somebody to get. So we as artists, we got to be more responsible about the things we do. Like security only costs $300-$400. You know what I mean? Like make sure you got a security guard with you. I think
when you say tap in, that term tap in has affected people for years, especially artists. They feel
because niggas got egos.
Right.
They got egos and too much pride, but I'm never too prideful to protect myself. I got a kid I got to get back home to. I got a mama. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm never finna just be out here moving reckless or doing things that I just think I'm free. I got shit, $150,000 worth of jewelry on. I'm not just finna go.
I don't even know if you want to say that.
I'm just I wasn't wearing it last night at the Brooklyn Chop House.
That's right. You in the interview. That's real. That's right. That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm gonna leave it to where it need to be. It's like I'm not trying to flex on nobody. To keep it real, I don't even like wearing this shit. It's just like a rapper costume for real. It's like a business card. You know what I mean? But I don't like wearing it because it's really kind of like a symbol of like stunting on your own people. It's like we get money to show people I got more than you. And it's like I think that's some lame shit. I think I'm gonna stop wearing jewelry in a minute.
I feel what you're saying. You know what? I want us to start flexing about like how many people we causing to get to work.
Facts.
You know what I mean? How many jobs are you creating for people? How many businesses are you creating to create other opportunities for the folks? That's what we need to start talking about.
Facts. And that's the most important thing. Like I got my best friend right here. We've been together since forever. You know what I'm saying? But it's like now he come from the streets, like the streets. He done been in a lot of shit, jail. He been shot, everything. But his mind on being an executive now.
That's right.
You know what I mean? He was in the room last night with Julie Greenwald. You know what I mean? He talking to Mike Kaiser now. So it's different. Like that's the goal, is for us to make it out of these circumstances, to provide more opportunities for the people we around and people we could bring up as well.
I'm glad Atlantic Records that you just brought up, right, Julie?
Yes.
So before that, you were signed to Columbia.
It was terrible.
All right, what makes it terrible, and what made you feel like, okay, I'm ready to sign to another major? Because sometimes people do a major label deal, they get so turned off, they're like, I'm not doing that again. So how did you know that was the right situation, and what was terrible about Columbia?
So when you a new artist, like this shit don't come with no brochure. So the only way for you to get the information is to fuck up a little bit. So when I can I cuss? My bad.
Yeah. You did already.
Okay, my bad. So when I first got my deal, I realized fast, like, I'm not a priority, and I played this wrong. So I got my advance, and I blew my money, like, in, like, 3 weeks. I owed people. I had to pay certain things back, went and bought clothes, went and bought a Maserati, went and got a new apartment and everything.
What was the advance?
It was nice.
That's a lot of things you did.
It was nice. But at the same time, what I was supposed to do with that advance was create an infrastructure for myself. So when I got out of that deal and I got my new deal, the first thing I did, bought a laptop, bought my cameraman a camera, hired a digital team, hired my own PR, hired my own people around me that could help advise me to move forward rather than just spending the money on myself. And I think as artists, sometimes we gotta realize, like, we just not rappers, we a business, right? And as a business, you gotta run it like a business. You need people in play to help you sustain where you trying to go. So that was one thing I learned. But also, it was a regime change. So I can't just say it was terrible, because the people who brought me in was great. They just had left at the time. They went to a different label. So when they left, Columbia was going into a new business model to where they only wanted like TikTok artists, and they wanted like social media artists and shit like that. And I feel like I'm a word of mouth artist. I'm somebody that you gotta meet, you gotta touch me, you gotta smell me, you gotta feel me. I'm not just gonna get on there and do a dance and it go up. So they ended up letting me go. I was independent for a little while, me and my homie, trying to figure it out, spending money, and I ran into Dallas Martin. And Dallas Martin kind of changed my life for real. That's like the first A&R that really like sat with me and gave me the game and be with me to this day. We was together last night till 4 this morning. Like, and he up at the office right now.
Dope.
That's my dog. Shout out to Dallas.
You know, I like what you were saying earlier too, just about how you move as an artist, saying it's okay to have security, because we're the culture that literally bragged about being in the hood with all our jewelry on with no security.
We be bragging about the wrong shit. That shit has got so many people killed.
Yes.
We be bragging about the wrong shit. Like, it's stupid to go around a bunch of kids and young men who fighting for these things. Like, they can't even really feed themselves. You know what I mean? And you round them with this big ass chain. That's gonna make them feel some type of way. So you gotta protect yourself. You ain't being no sucker, or you ain't being dumb. You know, you being smart.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So you gotta protect yourself. Like, I advise everybody to get security, especially today. Because these young boys today, like, they different. They different.
They gonna run up on you any place, anytime.
Y'all seen Philly Reddit?
Nah, what's that?
Man, I was just in Philly with Wallow and Gilly.
Salute to Wallow and Gilly.
Shout out my brothers. And they showed me this YouTube page called Philly Reddit, and it's like all these kids that's just like dissing each other and killing each other. Like they literally doing the police job for them. Literally on camera. They grabbing like ring footage from people's doorstops, showing the person that walked the dude down 4 blocks down. It's like a whole investigation.
Damn.
On YouTube.
Damn.
It's like we gotta do better, man. We gotta do better.
What's your thoughts on, this was big in the last couple of months where artists, they're using the artist lyrics in court.
I don't agree with that.
Artists are telling on each other, though, on themselves.
So it's two sides to that, right? I don't agree with that because at the end of the day, as a detective or police, whatever, you still gotta do your job. So I don't think your job should be minimized to what somebody's saying in their song. Now, the problem with that is, if somebody actually dies and you get on a song and say where this person died and what you did and how it went down, that's your fault.
That's what's happening though.
That's your fault.
Yeah, it's not like people. It's not like they just listening to raps and saying, "Oh, he just talked about killing somebody.
Yeah.
Let's go."
It actually happened.
It actually happened. Yeah.
It actually happened. So if it's actually happened, you can't get mad at them people because you making it a lot more easier. But if they're using this against you and this is something you was enhancing or something that didn't really happen, then I can understand where it could feel unfair. But at the same time, if you just getting on there just saying what actually happened, it's like, bro, that's your fault. Like I don't feel bad for you at all.
Now, what's your relationship with Stat Quo? Because on the project you said,
man.
you said he told you something that you wasn't feeling. I don't want to say because I don't want to misquote it.
Say it.
I can't remember what it was.
Stat Quo told me my music would never hit, and if I ain't have a gimmick, then people wouldn't give a shit.
Yes, okay.
It's crazy how a nigga who ain't made nobody's list can make you feel like you can't go where you trying to get.
Now, why Stat Quo get that shot?
Man, because Stat, and I got love for Stat, right? It wasn't like me trying to like tear him down or nothing, but at the same time, right? He's an older black man, and I was a young black man, still a young black man, but at the time, it's like, bro, don't just tell me where I'm going wrong without giving me some advice on how to get it right. You just tearing me down in front of people. So we used to be in these offices, and he'd just, oh, you ain't got no identity. Oh, you need to grow your hair out. You need to do this. You need to do that. I'm like, bro, why I gotta do that? Like, what's another way we could do it? But he would never tell me.
He didn't know, though.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So it's like, don't put what happened to you on me. Like, help me get it right as a young black man. Don't just tear me down in front of these people and ruin my opportunity because yours didn't work. You know what I mean? So it was like, I had to say something about that because I feel like this the first time the world watching me and I want them to know what I've been through.
So what's the connection, though? I was like, well, what's the...
Stat worked at the label I was originally at before Atlanta.
Oh, got you.
He was at Columbia. He brought Lil Xan over there.
Yeah, he had Lil Xan as his artist.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So I used to imagine me coming in the office rapping how I rap, and he got Lil Xan in there telling me what the fuck I'm doing wrong.
You got a point.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, help me get it right.
Did he say anything to you after he heard that?
I heard recently it ain't out yet, but my boy sent it to him because he cool with Stat. He out there, Marcus. But he sent it to him and he felt the way. But it's like, I felt the way. You know what I mean? When you was putting me on blast in front of these people rather than like helping me trying to get it right, you was just tearing me down.
It's kind of crazy because Stat Quo, he's a rapper. So it's like, yeah, I'm like, I thought I would feel like he would see you.
Man, Stat used to tell me I'd never sell a ticket.
Damn.
I can't believe Stat was talking like that.
Damn.
You ain't got no identity. You need to learn how to do this. You got to know. Your clothes is terrible. What are you wearing? I'm like, bro, okay, help me get it right. Don't just tell me where I'm going wrong. Help me get it right.
But, for Stat, and I don't know the brother, but he might have been, that's what they might have been telling him.
For sure.
When he was coming up.
For sure.
So
now, I actually know Stat Quo pretty well because I worked with Eminem.
Okay.
So we were all on tour together and everything.
Yeah.
And I remember his manager, Zeke, and, the things that Stat went through. And then I thought it was interesting when he did start going on the other side of things and being an A&R.
No, but that was dope as Stat making that transition. I feel like that's something we all got to understand as artists is like music ain't going to last forever.
Right.
So you got to do it again someplace else. 50 did it in film and television. Jay did it in business. Kanye doing it in fashion. Stat did it in an executive role, right? But as an executive, bro, don't just tear me down.
Right.
You know what I mean? Don't just tell me what I'm doing wrong. Tell me how I could get it right. I'm not no sensitive ass person.
I see, because
You know what I mean?
you were like, just tell me what to do
Just
then.
tell me what to do and I'm gonna get it right. But he would never tell me that. He'll just tear me down.
But not only that, you I guess you look at it like he was in your position. So the fact that he got
Facts.
power, he should be pulling up artists that he
Facts.
knows. Yeah, I get it.
Facts. I watch you do it with people. Like, you be giving people real estate game. You know what I mean? You tell people where to get it right. There's a lot of people I didn't talk to that just said, yo, Envy put me on this or Envy didn't put me on that. That's what we got to do as a people. We already like 13% of the population?
Right. Yeah.
So we already outnumbered. So it's important for us to kind of like give each other the information so we could get it right to move forward.
You talk about Dallas and how, as an A&R, he's really helped you a lot.
Yeah.
So what are some things that Dallas told you that have helped you?
Dallas is like, first off, I don't think no A&R work harder than Dallas. Dallas be at the studio longer than the artist. It's times I done went home and went to sleep and he calling me at 5 a.m. with a feature he didn't put on the song.
Wow.
It's times where he done told me, bro, you shouldn't put this in the video because you're gonna come across this certain way. You shouldn't speak about these things. Say it in a different way. Having an identity, understanding who you are as an artist, what's your message, who you speaking to, build your underbelly out first before you chase a hit record. So imagine an A&R telling you that when they usually gonna tell you, we need a hit. But Atlantic, they allow you time to develop. So Dallas always gave me the time to develop my fan base and develop who I was, especially within the pandemic, because I had a big moment with the freestyles, LeBron posting me, Shaq posting me, but I can't go outside and do a show. I can't go outside and host nothing. I can't go meet y'all. You know what I mean? I can't do nothing, so I'm stuck. So he'll put me back in the studio. Okay, let's move forward. Let's try this. Let's try this type of song. People feeling this type of way in the house. Let's make something for that. Let's do a freestyle for that. So he been with me like every step of the way, just giving me game, telling me when I'm wrong, telling me when I'm right. And I appreciate him for that.
You know, I love Never End Up Broke.
Yeah.
You know, and on that record, you know, the hook is money can't buy back time, my nigga.
Yeah.
What does that line mean to you?
Like, sometimes we get money and think we could go back and correct the things in the past, right? But it already happened. So it's like you got to get that money and move forward and make sure you don't make them same mistakes that you made in the past. You can't just like, most people get bread and try to go back and get the girl that turned them down. It's like, nigga, she passed you. You know what I'm saying? She running around with Julio Jones. Like, go let her do that.
That sounds very personal, Symba.
No, it's not. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, I'm a Tom Brady fan, so I know he got Julio now. You know what I mean? So shout out to Tom and Julio Jones. But you can't go back in the past and change things because you got money now. But you can learn from those things and let your money be applied to where it is you trying to move forward to. So that's really where it came from.
If you could buy back time, what time would you buy back? What time in your life would you buy back?
Trying to build a relationship with my dad. I never got to really meet my dad. My dad went to jail when I was 1, and he died in prison. And he died on some janky shit. Like, we still trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? So I never really got like a father figure in my life. My mama was like both roles. So it's a lot that I feel like I could have, I probably wouldn't have been a rapper if I had my dad in my life.
You think?
Yeah, I probably would have done something different.
Okay.
But me looking for a male father figure, I looked up the rappers. You know what I mean? I looked up the Hove. Hove taught me how to talk to women. Hove taught me how to represent myself, and I learned that from hip hop. But not having a dad in my life, it kind of like hindered me a little bit. You know, I didn't go to college. That's something I probably would have did. Respecting women a lot more. You know what I mean? Coming from the Bay, we kind of come from this pimp culture. You know, and our OGs tell us, oh man, fuck the man, do this, do that. But it's like, man, that ain't really the way we should be operating out here as black men.
You're right. We did a lip service live in the Bay, and let me tell you, it was wild. The guys and us, like all of us going back and forth.
Yeah.
Just how they were talking and how we were talking, but it was like a cultural thing.
Yeah, nah, we got a crazy mentality, the way we kind of see things in the Bay. But I'm trying to like break that cycle a little bit, because we gotta respect our people more. It ain't just about you know, women or men. It's about us as a whole, as a community.
Absolutely.
Like, we gotta respect our people more. I don't think people should P&B Rock. You know what I mean? Rest in peace, P&B Rock. I don't think somebody should lose their life because they got a chain on. You know what I mean? You gonna grab this chain get what $5,000-$10,000 from it, spend that shit in 2 weeks, and then you gonna be looking to rob and kill somebody else. Like we gotta put more respect on our people.
And that's only if you stay free, which I doubt's gonna happen.
Which exactly.
You know what I mean?
The cops are trying to
Exactly.
find out. They're looking at all the pawn shops now to see who is going to turn in this chain and try
That
to get
scares me.
some
That
money
just
from
make
it.
that just make me feel like the cops don't have a lead.
Which is wild
Facts.
for
They
something
have
like
all
that
the
to happen in a
footage, but
Roscoe's in
Facts.
broad
Yeah.
daylight with all them cameras.
They
It's
wouldn't
got to
be
be
going to
illegal.
That was a
pawn
wild
shop.
Roscoe's though.
Yeah.
They
That's,
say people normally
That
when they
was-
do that, they try to sell it really fast.
They're
too.
not going to
Yeah.
a pawn shop though.
They
Yeah,
not gonna
they
go to no
can't.
pawn shop, but the problem is they'll sell it to somebody. Somebody gonna say that they sold it to them. This person gonna tell somebody. That person gonna tell somebody. And before you know it, they caught up in an indictment.
Yep.
They done lost their life.
yeah.
I was
You
going
know?
to ask.
No,
you
hold on. I'll go back to your father real quick. I'm glad that you said that because there's so many men that are starting to have that conversation now about wanting that connection with their fathers. You know what I mean? I tell people all the time, first time I had a breakthrough in therapy was realizing the daddy issues that I had. And I'm just glad that you're saying that out loud because, man, we be acting like fathers are disposable.
Nah, bro, we need that. Like, I just had a son. Like, my son 2 years old, so I be watching him just do little things I do. So it be making me aware of, like, okay, let me not smoke in my videos. You know what I mean? Let me not drink so much around him. Like, let me do certain things to where he could look at me as a role model. I ain't had that. I used to look to other men for that. Like, I remember when the All-Star game in 2000, it came to Oakland. And I went to the game with my cuddy, David, and his dad, right? And I was just watching him. You know what I mean? Like, he like, look, son, woo-woo. We getting autographs from, like, Kevin Garnett and Shaq and everybody, but he running up on him like, hey, you can sign this for my son? Woo. And I'm just like, damn, I wish I had that.
That's real.
You know what I mean? Like, I wish I had somebody to do that for me, but it was always my mama. And as a woman, like, they ain't into sports. You know what I mean? Or, like, they ain't into certain things we into as young black men. So it's like, it's only so much she could tell me. So not having that in my life, I feel like it hindered me a little bit to where I learned a lot of things later that I had to unlearn, things I had to unlearn that I thought was the right things to do because I didn't have a male figure in my life to tell me that.
So is that why you took the name Symba?
Nah, that shit just came from me watching The Lion King too much.
That's what I mean. Symba lost Mufasa early and had to figure it out
For
on his
sure.
own. Yeah,
For
yeah.
I gotta
sure.
watch that.
For sure.
You still
It's-
never watched The Lion King,
You never seen The Lion King?
and she's never been to Disney World.
I went to the play. I
Yeah,
saw
you
the
out of
play.
pocket. You out of pocket.
I
How you ain't never watched The
gist
Lion
of
King?
it. I went to the Broadway play, but I just haven't seen the movie.
But you ain't never seen the movie?
No.
And they got a new one. You ain't even seen the new one.
The new one's trash.
You out of pocket.
Why'd you take the name Symba? What about that character resonated with you?
Well, originally, I used to just watch The Lion King a lot as a kid. So my mom used to work like 3 different jobs. So I would always go to my grandma's house. And I had all my cousins over there. Shout out Swain, Kenny, Danny, Baby Al. I used to always be in Berkeley with my family. And I used to watch just The Lion King a lot. And everybody would just be like, nigga, you Lil Symba. Like, that's all you want to watch, Lil Symba. So that was my name. When I was playing basketball, they'd be like, Lil Symba. So when I stopped playing, I already had the nickname, and I just ran with it.
Wow, you know that movie is really I wrote about this in the last chapter of my book. That's really the plight of the black person in America.
Facts.
You know what I mean? If you watch The Lion King.
Facts. You know what's crazy too? I be noticing, like, if you notice, like, all Disney movies be kind of starting off with death. Like, the character be dying in the beginning, and then the kid just kind of be trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, I always wonder why that is.
It's a good story arc, because you can just like, especially in The Lion King, like that story in particular, like he's supposed to be king, like he was born to be king.
Yeah.
It's like, nobody taught him to be that,
king.
you know.
Facts.
So, but once he was just reminded, it was kind of like in his DNA.
Facts.
You
And
know,
we figured it out.
They figured it out.
We gonna always find a
Oh
way.
wait, hey, tough records, tough record.
I was gonna ask, when you first came out in the Bay, was the Bay very supportive?
Hell nah.
Because you don't have a Bay
Man,
sound,
I
per
went
se.
through so much. I say a line on the project. Kennard told me I needed a feature from Kafani if I wanted to support. Kennard was his program director in the Bay from the time. And like I said, I would move around with my mom and I would notice we kept hitting the ceiling. So I would bring my music up there like, yo, I'm trying to expand our sound. I'm trying to touch every region. They'd be like, nah, that ain't it. That ain't it. You need something faster. You need a club record. You need this. And I'm like, bro, that ain't who I am. You know what I mean? We got artists to make music for the club. Let me make music for when they on the way home. Let me make music for when they getting up in the morning and going to work. And people just used to like bash me for that a little bit, like I was doing something wrong. But the people rocked with me though. Like the people in the Bay always rocked with me. It was just the politics that looked at me like a weirdo, like I was doing something wrong or breaking culture when I was just trying to expand it for real.
Put us on to who Kafani is, because I thought you said Kalani.
See how crazy that is?
I thought you said Kalani.
That is? And shout out to Kafani. Kafani is an artist, but like you just said, you don't even know who that is. But
I heard that line, I was like, Kalani.
But they made me feel like I had to be him to make it up here.
So he's an artist from the Bay?
He's an artist from the Bay Area. Right. Remember that song, Fast Like a NASCAR, Fast?
Oh, yeah.
That's Kafani.
Okay.
So they used to tell me make records like that when I'm rapping like this.
Got you.
Let everybody have it that had.
Because I'm fed up,
I know the feeling.
I'm fed up.
You don't forget none of those people who told you that you wasn't going to make it.
Through it all,
I get it.
They put me through it all.
Do you still write for other artists now?
Hell yeah. I can't tell you who, but yeah, I still write. I'm writing people's freestyles now when they go to the radio.
Well, that's amazing. So is it easier for you to write for other people than to write for yourself, like to tell made-up fictional things?
It's way easier because a lot of artists, like, with me, I have trouble making songs about nothing. So you know how some artists could just be in there and talk about their car, how many women they got, how many shoes they done bought. I have a hard time making songs about that. So I be needing like a concept, what I'm gonna say, how I'm gonna approach this. And then for some artists, like they just want some dope lyrics. You know what I mean? So I just make a bunch of shit rhyme and give it to them and they rock with it.
So who is your favorite MC lyricist that you love to listen to now?
Future.
Future
is probably my favorite rapper ever.
People sleep on Future so much. Remember when they was having that Mount Rushmore conversation? It was like Kendrick, Drake, J. Cole. I'm like,
Future
the fourth is Future.
Facts.
Of the last decade?
Facts.
No disrespect to nobody else, but Future changed culture.
Facts. And I think because it's not the traditional way of hip-hop, people look at it as if he's not lyrical. But he's very lyrical. Like, if you really listen in detail what he say, he's very lyrical, and it's a lot that I learned from him, just slowing my pockets down. You know what I mean? How to reroute my words and certain things. So shout out to Future, man. He definitely in my top 5 forever.
Why you ain't reach out to him for Results Take Time? I see you got Key Glock on there.
You see Megan Thee Stallion? 250 for a feature. I ain't got that yet.
I was looking like, but look, you got Roddy Rich, but I guess y'all on the same.
That's
label.
my dog though. Me and Roddy had a song before this one. We just couldn't get the sample cleared.
Okay.
So it never came out. But I've been knowing Roddy for a minute, and he always just rocked with me. Like Roddy was the one person that allowed me to like have a courtside seat to his success. So I was in there when he made every season. You know what I mean? Like I was in certain sessions. Kiefer, which is a part of his team, that's my dog. So I was able to actually see them go from like nothing to a diamond record. You know what I mean? And he allowed me to be in certain studio sessions and everything. And the way the record happened was through Dallas. You know, I had just came back from New York. I was doing this, what was we doing? Me and Drama was in the studio doing the
Gangsta Grill?
The Gangsta Grills. And I came back, I had this photo shoot that was like, it was like a 12-hour photo shoot. I went to the studio, I was tired, went home, went to sleep. Dallas called me at like 4 in the morning. Roddy had just pulled up. And he listened to the whole project front to back. And he was like, bro, I'm about to jump on this right now. And that's actually one of my favorite verses on the project because he's actually telling me what happens at the next level. You know what I mean? So he's telling me when you get your rich, it takes some time to process. You got to keep it prolific through the progress. Stay solid for your dog on the 4-yard, even if you PJ'd up with the go yard. You know what I mean? So like that meant a lot to me just because bro always rock with me. I always rock with him. And for like my moment, he gave me that verse.
Who'd you connect with first? I know Roddy was under Nip as well at one point. So who'd you connect with first, Nip or Roddy? Because I saw you on the Facts podcast, salute to Fuzzy and Q.
Shout out to Fuzz and Q for sure. I met Nip in like 2012 in Atlanta.
Okay.
I met Nip 2012, and this one like Cookies first came out. Y'all know Burner?
Yeah,
shout out to Burner.
Shout out to Burner.
So in the Bay, we had the Cookies before anybody knew it. So Cookies, if you ever smoke it, it got this distinct smell. Like, you could just smell it. You could tell from anywhere it's at. You know what it is. And we was in Atlanta, and we was smoking in the club, and then Nip kind of came over. He was like, hey, bro. He's like, what's that y'all smoking? And I was like, it's some cookies. He's like, let me get some of that. I'm like, boy, you Nipsey. I ain't about to sell you no weed. You can have this shit. You feel me? So we ended up smoking. He gave me his number. He was like, if you ever get back to L.A., hit me up. And I straight up lied to him. I was like, I live in L.A. I ain't even live in L.A.
Oh, you in Atlanta at the time?
I was in Atlanta. I was like, I live in L.A. And he was like, all right, well, hit me when you get there. So I flew back to the Bay like 2 days later, and my car was parked at the airport. And I got in the car, and I didn't even go home and get clothes. I just drove straight to L.A. And from the Bay to L.A., it's a 6-hour drive. So I just jumped on the road to L.A., and I got through the grapevine. I texted him like, what's up, bro? Just landed back in L.A. Let me know when you in the studio. You feel me? And he was like, we in there tonight. Pull up. Pulled up. He had the studio downtown, knocked the verse out, and he had this wall full of books, right? And one of the books, he was telling my cameraman, DeMondre at the time, like, pick any book you want. And DeMondre picked the 22 Immutable Laws of Branding. And that book changed all our life. That's when I figured out how to sell myself, right? What my identity was, what I was gonna stand on. So that whole day of just meeting him was like a whole life-changing experience for me. And then every time when I moved to LA, I would see him. He remembered me. He always showed me love. It was a 7-Eleven by the studio. I always see him there. He'd be like, what's up, bro? You still doing your thing? I'd be like, yep. So he always rocked with me, man. Rest in peace to Nip. That's a real legend right there.
You know, you FaceTime me one day, man, and you put me on the FaceTime with the super legend ain't even the right word. Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
What does getting that call mean when Dre call you and say, yo, come to the studio, let's do something?
Everybody shut up and sit down. You feel me? Quit telling me I need to make a hyphy record. You feel me? Let me do me. But nah, it was special because I actually met Dre through Keon, which is his nephew. I met Keon at a studio session. He was in the room playing beats. And I'm somebody that's like, I'm open to everything. Like my big dog that I'm signed to, Donnie Meadows, he always be telling me like, boy, you too nice. Like you talk to any and everybody. Like it be interns in the studio sometime playing beats. I just come in there and start rapping on their beats. But Keon was playing beats, and I just went in there and started freestyling. He was like, man, I got to introduce you to my uncle. I'm like, who your uncle? He like, Dr. Dre. I'm like, man, come on, bro. Because you know in L.A., everybody knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that actually know the person. So I'm like, man, come on, bro. Like, he like, nah, that's really my uncle. I'm like, all right, bet, take my number. I give him my number. The next day, he FaceTimed me with Dre on the phone. And Dre was like, man, I seen your LA Leakers freestyle. Like, I done heard a few things about you. Like, when I finish with this Super Bowl, I want to get in the studio with you. So I'm like, bet. So the Super Bowl happened, and I think it was 2 days later. It was like a Wednesday or Tuesday or something. I was in the studio with some people, and Keon hit me. He was like, Unc, want you to pull up. He sent me the address. I ain't even tell nobody where I was going. I think they thought I was going to the bathroom or something. I just got up and left. I just got up and left, drove straight over there.
By yourself?
Yep.
You got to.
Straight by myself.
I ain't bring somebody.
I ain't bringing nobody over there.
You can't do that.
Hell nah. But I went over there, and I was over there for about 4 days, and we just was cooking. And then everything he taught me is really what motivated this project, because I didn't really know where I wanted to go with it. I knew that I wanted to have some type of resemblance of like where I was at in my career right now, right? Like, I ain't got no #1 album, I ain't got no #1 record, but I'm gonna get it. And I wanted to express what that feels like being in this moment right now. So being around Dre, he kind of like taught me how to act out my lyrics and say things different. It's a song called Can't Win for Nothing that Charlamagne told me the production sound cheap. So we had to beef up the mix a little bit. But
I ain't lie though.
No, and I appreciate that.
Word.
I appreciate that. But it's a song on there, if you listen to it. Before I was with Dre, I would have rapped the first lyrics like, I woke up this morning with all these thoughts in my head, jumped out the bed and stubbed my tone edge. But Dre taught me how to say it like, I woke up this morning with all these thoughts in my head, jumped out the bed and stuck my tone edge. So you could actually feel me hitting my toe. He taught me how to act out my lyrics and stuff like that. And he also taught me that like a lot of people beats be terrible. And you know what I mean? like when you get around him and you start hearing them beats, you be like, damn, why I'd even rap on these other niggas?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he's a GOAT. That's what make him Dre. So shout out to Dre, man. He always teach me a lot. He give me a lot of game. It be times where I be lost on what to do, and I text him and he hit me right back. Do this, do that, say this. You know what I mean? Be a man of integrity.
How many songs y'all got together?
He probably gonna kill me for saying this.
Then don't do it.
Nah, we on the Breakfast Club. I'm saying it. think we got about 6.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Got about 6.
You know where they going?
I don't.
All right.
I don't.
Let me ask you this. Earlier, we were talking about Never Change featuring Roddy Ricch.
Yeah.
Do you feel that people around you sometimes change? Because I know that's a common thing I hear.
Yeah.
Like, they'll tell you change,
Yeah.
but really people treat you differently
Facts.
when things start to happen.
Facts. I'm going through that right now. Like, I got a bunch of people that'll look at, like, all my traction and all my movement, and they just think because we friends, they supposed to be there. But it's like, grab a flight.
Word up.
You know what I mean? Pull up, get here. As long as you get here, I'm gonna make sure it's cool. But it's like, I can't just be funding everybody flights and everybody room and everybody food right now. I know it look nice, you know what I mean? But that ain't where we at. Like, everybody playing their role. That's why I keep my dog with me, Fee. He been with me from the beginning. You know what I mean? Ain't never asked for nothing. We been rocking from the beginning. But it's so many people that feel like because they know you, they feel like they entitled to get something from you.
That's right.
And it's like, bro, like, help me. Don't just always try to take from me. Like, this is a tough business.
Right.
It's very tough. Like, artists get like, what, 2-3 years at the max sometimes?
Now it feels like a year and a half.
Yeah.
It's that bar I like from that joint you got where you be like, and when they want more, you act like you never did
gave 'em
nothing.
shit. You could do everything
man.
for somebody. I done gave people verses, wrote them songs, and then they'd come to the show and be like, bruh, I don't want to pay for no ticket. It's like, bro, support me.
Word up,
The
word
ticket
up,
$20.
word up.
You know what I mean? Support me. Like,
Yeah,
I
make
can't
me
get
look
every-
good too. Like, I gotta
Yeah.
sell tickets.
I
buy
gotta
one.
sell. I got a booking agent. They looking at how many tickets this nigga selling.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, support
And don't just
me.
buy one. Bring a bunch of people to
Bring
buy
some
tickets
people.
too.
But they want to come with everybody, get they people in free to make them look like the man. So sometimes people be around you to really benefit where it is they trying to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's something I'm dealing with right now, and just like learning like where to place people, learning who could come and who can't.
You're also going on tour with Joyner Lucas?
Yeah, shout out my dog Joyner. Shout out Joyner. We going tour this Friday. This is my first
that's
tour.
soon.
Yeah, it's my first tour too. I'm
Well,
excited.
congratulations. How did
Yeah.
that even happen?
So Joyner had hit me back in June, and he was like, I appreciate like you keeping bars alive. You know what I mean? Like, it's very few of us that's like really trying to stand on rapping. And he was telling me he was getting ready to go on this tour, and if I wanted to come out, you know, he was extending his hand. I'm like, hell yeah, I ain't never been on no tour. COVID got in my way. So this is actually the first artist to bring me along and share his platform with me. So a lot of artists don't do that. They feel like you gon', you know, steal they shine, or you know what I mean, take from what it is they do. But he really extended his hand and brought me on. He even offered for me to go on his bus. You know what I mean? But I was
that's
like,
dope.
man, I'm about to pull up with a couple Bay niggas. I ain't bringing all these niggas on the bus.
Y'all got 18 dates, right?
Yeah. So I'm excited about this, just to see like the fans, how they react to the music, what music they like the most. So I'm excited about it.
And are you and LaRussell doing a project, man? Because I'm trying to figure out, first of all, I want to know what's in the water that got you and LaRussell sounding the way y'all do. That's number one.
First off, that's my dog.
Love that dude.
That's my dog right there. I literally, anytime I'm in the Bay, what's crazy is LaRussell live not too far from my mom.
Mm-hmm.
So every time I'm in the Bay, damn, I shouldn't have said that because everybody be in his backyard. Now they gonna know my mama live close by.
You're right.
But nah, every time I'm out there, I hit him. And it's just motivating because it's like he really running a business with his family.
That's right.
Like
Word up.
literally, like I
Word
went
up.
over there, like they pressing up their own tees, they having marketing conversations, they in the backyard having rehearsal, and it be making me wish like, damn, I wish I had this before I was going the major route. But it was hard for me to build a team because everybody was thinking for self. He got a bunch of people that's literally supporting him. Like they want to see him win. I had a bunch of niggas around me that just wanted to see us win rather than see me win so we could all get the win.
That's right.
And he just inspired me, bro. He like really inspired me. We've been talking about this project. I was actually supposed to come through his residency that he just did, but I had to go out of town and film this video. But we
That's
definitely,
crazy to say residency and it's in his backyard.
that's incredible though, ain't it?
It is.
That's incredible.
Word.
Like he literally just had like 400 people in a backyard
Yep.
at his crib. You know what I mean? That bought tickets and bought merch. It's incredible, especially for a Bay artist. It's tough for us.
dope.
And he went through the same thing I went through. People telling him, you need this type of song. You need that. Certain blogs in the Bay didn't want to post him because he don't play into the politics. And he cut through. He cut through. His music expanded. It was bigger than the Bay. So we definitely, I don't know when it's gonna come, but we definitely gonna put that together. We done talked about it a few times. So it's gonna come. It's just, he got a lot going on, I got a lot going on, but once we get some downtime to really knock it out, it's gonna come together.
Word.
Well, let's play a song off the album, man. What you want to hear?
Never Change, featuring the homie Roddy Rich.
All right, well, here it is. Symba, his album is out today.
Results take time out
Make
today.
sure you pick it up.
Yes, sir.
Symba, you going places, my brother.
Come on, man. I appreciate y'all for having me. Also, like I always tell you, I appreciate what you do with the Black Effect Network.
Yes, sir. Thank
because it's important for us to have black media. You know what I mean? We always get hot and feel like we got to run to the other man, not the brother man.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So everything you do, from All the Smoke to every podcast you got, man, I salute you.
Thank you,
also
brother.
salute you on your future endeavors.
Thank you.
I actually like one of your co-hosts. I'm gonna get at her later.
Uh-oh. Lip service.
Yeah.
Not you guys.
Yeah. She fine as hell.
She said, not you guys.
We know what the hell you meant.
What you meant.
And shout out to you too, Envy,
So
man.
love.
You a real legend out here, man. You got a lot of people in the Bay that always speak highly of you. You know what I mean? I got a lot of people from Hampton that always talk about you. So you're a legend, man, and everything y'all do for this culture, for the last, what I want to say, 12 to
12
Yeah, it'd be
years.
13 this year.
years.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? We always, as young artists, wake up and watch this show to get information, to learn what it is we should be doing. I learned a lot from this show, so it's a blessing to be here, and I appreciate y'all for having me.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, well, Symba, it's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.